Walleye at home hosting the Indy Fuel. First period, Darian Craighead on the doorstep, knocks it home. Fuel with the early 1-0 lead. Second period, Kiana Texera, the shot. Billy Christopoulos back in net, keeping the Walleye down 1. In the second, though, Indy 3-on-1. Riley McKay, the rebound, doubles the lead. Fuel in front 2-0. Walleye trying to avoid the shutout. TJ Hensick on the breakaway, can't get it. Walleye remains scoreless as Indy would get the 3-0 victory over the Walleye.
It is what it is. We were lifeless. We weren't connected at all. We didn't look like ourselves whatsoever. So, I could see it in our guys. We didn't have that jump in our step. Our brains weren't thinking the right way, and that's what happened. So, obviously, we have to learn from this in terms of how hard it is to beat teams on any given day, but they were certainly prepared to come in here and beat us.
All right, thanks. Back out here at the Huntington Center. Claire, we talked about it during the broadcast. 7th game in 10 days, 4th and 5. Those things certainly are there. But you look back at that first period today, and that's really where this game ended up being, in this case, lost and won, because Toledo really should have had the lead after the first.
They should have. They had double the opportunities shot-wise, out shooting Indy 10-5 in that first frame, and they looked like they owned the period. They were not necessarily as crisp a pass as we're used to seeing with Toledo, and then it just kind of got away from them in the second and third, probably because they are so tired.
You had Cincinnati that Toledo played last night. They had the day off on Friday, and you have to go up against that. Then the next day, you're taking on an Indy team that was sitting at home yesterday, had the day off, they're rested, ready to go. Those things could play in as the game wore on. I think we saw that a lot, didn't we?
We did. And Indy, on top of having fresh legs and not having to travel to get home last night at 2:30 in the morning, yes, they came up today, but it was a little different feel for them.
Sure.
They were also hungry for the win. They hadn't beaten the Walleye yet this year, going 0-6-1. So they were just ready and hungry, and they just had a little more determination, I think, and just willingness to get it done, and the fresh legs to do it.
Yeah, and it showed when Toledo needed to go uphill, trailing in the third. They really just couldn't generate an awful lot. But it's a little bit of a respite coming up for the Toledo Walleye. They only play one game next weekend here at home, and that's on Saturday night against the Atlanta Gladiators. So Toledo, after the loss tonight, they'll be ready to go coming up on Saturday.